What is up, traders? Hope everybody's doing well. Another week, and today I want to go over a potential trade that could have been taken in today's session that happened during the 950 1010 macro. So let's get into it. Starting off with higher time frames, 4-hour chart. I believe everybody was bullish, including me, coming into the session. We saw how price, we had buy side, another high here. So we had double tops. So I believe everybody expected this to just continue higher, especially coming into this session where on the 4-hour chart, there was price came down into this 4-hour value gap and respected it and started to push from it. So I believe it was very clear that price was going to push up and take out this buy side, which now obviously in hindsight we can see that price did the complete opposite, and we are going to drop down and try to analyze why that happened in today's session. Dropping down to the 15-minute chart here, we can see how price pre-market was just pushing up, leaving behind a trail of trendline liquidity. And London lows were set here at around 2:45, 3 a.m. And then price just continued to push up higher, sweeping this high, tapping into the December 15th new week opening gap. And from there, after sweeping this high, it just, for everybody, it seemed as if we want to see some sort of small manipulation to continue up higher. So dropping down to the 1-minute chart. We can see here with upon market open, we did have a push down, a manipulation leg down, but that didn't sweep any of the sell side that I just talked about. So it was just more trendline liquidity stack up over here with London lows down here. So at this point in time, yes, the bias was long. Yes, the higher time frame bias was long, but with price leaving a trail of sell side liquidity in terms of a trend line, we really want to see some sort of manipulation to the downside to sweep out these lows before price would continue higher. So at least to sweep out London lows down here. So as we can see here with market open, price, as I said, did push down, didn't sweep any major liquidity, pushed back up. This was the 930 for value gap, inversing it, pushing up, taking intermediate highs. But again, no really major liquidity was taken, no manipulation was in place. So with that in mind, waiting for the 950 1010 macro, so 950 and 1010, wanted to see some sort of manipulation or start for a manipulation leg to happen. We see price pushing away here with this gap. This was a breakaway gap, first fair value gap after consolidation. Let's zoom in here. Price pushed after taking that intermediate high and inversed this 930 fair value gap during that 950 1010 macro. So with that in mind, and having London lows over here lower at this price point, and with this trend line liquidity, it was reasonable to expect some sort of push lower into these lows before continuing higher. So that was the basis of this trade. We can see here price completely pushed down during this macro 950 to 10, inversing the 930 gap after taking some buy side. Entry would have been on this 930 for value gap being inversed. Stop loss above midpoint of this breakaway gap, because again, this is a breakaway gap after consolidation, the first clear breakaway fair value gap with a breakup structure clear. So if we're heavy on the bearish side, at least for now, we would expect, or be reasonable to expect, price to just not even touch it, or if touching it, to leave the upper half filled, not touched, so unfilled. So stop loss would be above midpoint of this breakaway gap, and then TP, you would be optimally taking some partials at the midnight price over here. We can see that midnight price aligns perfectly with some trendline liquidity, so some partials would be taken off here, and then full partials would be taken off at London lows. As we can see here, it was tapped into. Not the cleanest, quickest price action, but eventually it did it. It slowly grinded lower to tap that London low, sweep that. Did have some reaction off of it. It did actually come back up to the 930 gap and retap into it, and then just continue lower for the day. But that move, we're not talking about that move. We would not have been in that move anyway. We want just this quick move happen between the 950 1010 macro, sweeping that London lows. I did honestly expect price to from here just continue higher, but that wasn't the case today, and it seems as if price is leaving that buy side liquidity for next week. So now we have triple tops almost. If we go on the wider, higher time frames, we can see here we have this high, and this high now. We just swept some sell side, so it's reasonable to expect this to be purged sometime, maybe next week. We're gonna have to see. So that'll be it for today's trade recap. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys want more trade recaps like this, daily, weekly, and pre-session, post-session analysis, please follow us on Discord. Link is in the description. Also follow me on Twitter. Link is also in the description. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time, stay safe and happy trading.